appears that Derrick Jaxn finally responded back to his wife after she went on that podcast and basically just told the world of his indiscretions and how she's just basically a biblical hood rat.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
So, I'm going to put it up on the screen so y'all can check it out. You feel me? So, check out what this guy has to finally say after he had to deal with the shame.
Emotional damage.
Aggressive. Like, I want to pick her up.
Yeah.
I don't just kiss her. I pin her up against the wall, put my hand around. I'm not trying to get graphic.
Yeah.
There's context here. So, come up behind her and hug on her, kind of aggressive. But that would make her really, really shut down. I ain't never been so sensitive to rejection because we all get rejected. But this the first time I felt that. And what felt safer was to go out and at least have friendships with other girls. Just the conversation felt like receptiveness, like acceptance again. Mm-hmm. But those loose boundaries turned into no boundaries. So, if we continued to clash and she continued to pull away or what have you, and I'm not getting no answers or whatever, I'm especially in my prideful state. I'm thinking, man, she got me effed up. So I'm over here doing the right thing and she over here acting like I ain't nothing. So now there's a party tonight or there's a girl on campus and then she got her own dorm room. And that's whenever I started messing around.
Stop the cap.
Which is interesting. Now I realize something. You were trying to be on the straight and narrow and that aggressive personality that you had, because she told us on the podcast that she had experienced a rape 2 weeks before y'all met.
Everything that happened that was really painful was really one long repetitive pattern.
Right.
Me feeling rejected for this, that, and the other. And she handles, becoming okay again a certain way. But I didn't know certain forms of affection that were natural to me just felt scary to her, put her back in a certain space where, certain things that happen. So, yeah.
And that's so interesting. It's like, I'm getting understanding. It's like you have this woman who has experienced this huge violation of her body, her soul, her spirit, this brokenness. She meets this guy who she says she just loved the mess. She loved your dirty draws. You're wanting to show your affection. You grabbing her by her neck. You being aggressive physically, from a sexual standpoint. She's getting nervous. She's getting triggered on all levels. Don't even realize that she's being triggered like this.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
She's closing up rejection to you because you've experienced that growing up. Mom no longer is kissing you and tucking you in bed at night. Rejection. So now you're like, well, now I'm going to go self-medicate. I have this history of looking at porn, and now the way I self-medicate is watching this. So now I'm going to do the outward extension of that.
Yeah.
Now I'm over here hanging out with girls. One thing leads to another. Now you over here smashing. Now it's triggering her. How did she ever find out when you first cheated on her?
I don't give a fuck.
So at any rate, it appears that, women want to bring up the trauma they experienced in their life. And as much as I sympathize for anyone who has been taken advantage of sexually or physically, even financially, that doesn't take away from the fact that, Derrick Jaxn, as much as he's an asshole, he's a human being too. So at the same time, when you shut out and you can't deal with your problems, and he has to deal with his problems his own way, then everybody's mad.
He ain't lying.
Unfortunately, what women don't understand is not always about them. The world's not always centered around them. With that being said, obviously Derrick Jaxn had an itch to scratch, and he's not getting, this is be real, he wasn't getting the booty like he wanted to. And just because, they have kids don't mean nothing, because usually after the kids is usually when the marriage usually goes down south. And that's obviously what had happened in this case.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
And what's ironic is that actually they're still legally married. I wouldn't even be surprised if they get back together and then they make a big deal about it and even get more viewers. And subscribers and donators.
I got money.
But with that being said, it just kind of just goes to show that they always just think about themselves. And, you know, she claims that, you know, she was in a sexual assault before she met him 2 weeks before she met him.
What kind of shit is that?
But at the same time, she should have sought help. She should have sought counseling. She should have sought Christ before she decided to jump into this relationship with this man. And what's ironic is that she claimed that, you know, the stuff that he was doing was too aggressive and put her in a bad space. Yet she still stood around and stayed with him after he repeatedly had other women and then eventually became his wife.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
So I don't hear any reasons. All I hear is excuses. So, you know, with that being said, you know, Derrick Jaxn, he talked about, because he wasn't getting affection, obviously he just wanted to have homegirls to hang around with. Negro, please. You know, you was fucking them bitches from day one.
You about to buck, no finger rapping. You about to buck.
Just keep it a buck. Just be who you are. But of course, you know, Derrick Jaxn's not, because he's a big faker and a liar.
You sales it's all bullshit. All of it.
And I'm not necessarily saying to, you know, and not just to his wife, but to everyone. His followers, his donators, and everyone who knows the truth and know that he's full of shit. But hey, you know what? You eat what you sow.
Jesus Christ.